Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought that I would do a quick review on Emma Blackery's Villains album, which came out the other day. Came out the same day as Troye Sivan's albums. If you want to see me do a review on Troye's album, then let me know in the comments down below. I actually haven't had a chance to even listen to that one because I've been too preoccupied with Sweetener, BTS's new album, Emma's album, so I haven't actually had the chance to listen to Troye's yet, but if you want to see that and there's something that interests you, let me know down below. Let's start off by saying I love Emma Blackery. I've made a video on her before. I did a top 10 of Emma Blackery songs, which I'll link in the description down below if I remember, which I probably won't. And she commented on it and told me to get a tattoo. So hi Emma, if you're watching this again. Oh my god, the thought of that. I love you. I got the tattoo. I changed my mind. I didn't just get confidence. I got confidence is key, know your worth, which I think looks better and would look a little less weird than just having confidence written on my arm. That was the main reason I decided to go for that tattoo. I thought I would round up my favourite songs on the album, just give you a little talk through it, because I honestly do love this album. At first I was a bit like, ooh, this sounds very different, which I was expecting because obviously her singles all sound very different. It wasn't exactly a huge shock, but it definitely took me a little while to get into. But there are a few songs on here that, oh my god, they are literally, it's as if Emma went into my mind and just took all of my thoughts and put them into a song, because I'm going through something right now to do with a friend. This whole album is just the soundtrack to my life right now. I don't want to go into too much detail because I know it'll cause drama between me and this person. I do not need more of that, but every single lyric in a couple of these songs is like, oh my god, this whole album, to be honest, is a bit like, whoa, what the hell. The thing I love about this album is that she's so like openly petty, like she knows she's being petty, she's self-aware that she's being petty, and I love that. You need a little bit of pettiness in your life. It's definitely something that I've become lately. Just everything about this album embodies what my life is right now and how I'm feeling. It's the parts of myself that I hate the most, but also the parts of myself that I know are just human and I need to accept. This album helps me to do that. And my number one favourite is Fake Friends. Oh my god, this song. Every lyric is my life right now and I relate so hardcore. I think this, between Fake Friends and Burn the Witch, those are my two favourite songs just because of how relatable they are. They're getting me through each day and I love jamming out to them, and just every single lyric I'm like, yes, this is me right now. I've got your number in many ways. This game we're playing now, where we pretend that we're good. See, even those first lyrics where she's like, this game we're playing now, where we pretend that we're good. Sometimes you have to pretend you're good with someone for reasons in life, but sometimes you have to pretend you're okay with someone even if you still have this kind of, I don't want to say hatred because hatred's a very strong word, but if you still have this burning dislike for someone inside of you and you haven't forgiven them for what they've done, but you have to act like you have, just because as adults that's something that you have to do sometimes. And if you're part of the same friendship group or something, then you just have to, like, you have to be the bigger person, you have to put your pride aside and you have to just grit your teeth and pretend that you like someone. And you might think that that's wrong, but if it's mutual on both sides and you both know that you really don't like each other, but you're just going to put on a brave face for everybody else that's watching so that you're not causing drama like high school children or something, then that's just what you have to do, and I think it's fine. I mean, eventually you'll drift apart and you'll never have to see each other again, so I would rather be fake friends with someone than to be full-on enemies with someone and for it to affect my life. Do you know what I mean? I'm just too old for drama, I'm too old for pettiness, and sometimes you have to pretend that you're good with someone regardless of how hardcore you just dislike them for whatever it is they've done that really hurt you. You're not forgiven for what you did, but out in public we're in the same clique. Don't know if I relate to the we're in the same clique part, but I definitely get what she's saying and it's relatable to a degree. Every lyric in this is just, oh my god, just amazing. The second I heard this song, it was the day I'd fallen out with said friend, and I was like, what the hell? It just felt Like, I can't even tell you, the second I heard the song I was like, this is my new favourite Emma Blackery song. Just know you're wrong and we'll be fake friends. Oh, you're wrong and we'll be fake friends. I'm not innocent, so let's not come clean. True. There are two sides to an argument all the time. I have always been able to see my own flaws and my own oversteppings, and I will always apologise for it if I've stepped over the line and said something that's really hurt someone. I put my pride aside and I said sorry for the things that I did. But sometimes other people can't do that. Some people just can't accept that they're wrong. This video is getting shady real quick. Oh, the chorus is just so catchy. It's such a good song. I highly recommend you check this one out. My second favourite song on the album is Burn the Witch. Can you see a pattern? I definitely understand where Emma was coming from when she wrote this album and the kind of mindset that she was in. You know, I know that a lot of people don't like Emma Blackery because of the way that she stands up for herself and the way she's spoken out in the past against certain things, and she has apologised and said she's changed as a person and stuff. But I do think it's also important to embrace that side of yourself, because I've always been the type of person to let people walk all over me. Always. I've always been the type of person to just be the biggest pushover, let people do stuff to me all the time, and I always forgive. But they never apologise for their side, and this isn't talking about my friend or anything, so if said friend is watching this now, this part is not about you. But I've always forgiven, like, family, friends, people who have mistreated me, and people always say to me, like, why do you keep going back to said person when they destroy you every time? Because I like to believe the best in people, and it's definitely one of my weaknesses. And so when I finally, this year I think is the main year I've learned this, when I finally learnt to start sticking up for myself and not taking other people's bullying, essentially, not taking other people's shit, whilst it has landed me in quite a lot of trouble, I'm proud of myself for finally standing up for myself, because while it does bring trouble along with it, like it always will, and people will try and turn others against you, and people will make things up and lie and blah blah blah, the people that truly know you as a person are going to defend you anyway, and what does it matter what other people think of you? Do you know what I mean? As long as the people closest to you know who you are, there should be no worries. Just this petty part of yourself, I think sometimes you need it as an armour to defend yourself against certain things, and as long as you don't let it get out of hand, I think you should embrace that part of yourself, and to a degree you should love it, because everyone needs to be petty every now and then. Everyone needs to get their feelings out, and trust me, bottling up your feelings, that ain't it. I am definitely the type of person that bottles up feelings towards people, and it always ends in destruction. Usually I take it out on myself in the end, and it's not something you want to do. You want to confront the problem head on, and you want to find a solution early. Even if that does mean being petty, you cannot let things bottle up inside of you, trust me, it kills. 'Cause baby, I'm a liar, I'm a bitch, and you and I have unfinished business, narcissistic hypocrite, and I'm petty as well, but at least I admit it. Just the chorus is so good, like lyric wise, catchy wise. Oh my god, this is my full-on jam at the moment. I can't tell you how many times I had this on repeat this morning getting ready for work. The part about being petty, and owning up to it. A lot of people can't own up to the fact that they're petty. They will just try and make themselves out to be the victim constantly. And I'm not going to try and say that I've never tried to make myself be the victim. Of course I have, maybe subconsciously or something in the past. But usually I will have a reason for being a victim. Like, usually there is something that has really hurt me inside for me to feel that way, and it takes a lot to fall out with me, it really does. And sometimes I just cannot forgive it. Like, it's not possible, and just the part about being petty and accepting it, a lot of people can't do that, and I feel like I've always been like, yeah, I'm petty. And like, I'll admit that I'm being petty. When I'm being petty, I'm very self-aware of it, very aware. And I'm not ashamed of it anymore, to be honest. It was a part of myself I hated, but now I love a bit of pettiness, so that lyric is great to me. The part about I know what you've called me lately. Let me just give you some advice. If you're going to bitch about someone, you have to be prepared for them finding out. If you don't mind them finding out what you've said about them, go ahead and bitch to every person you know. However, if you're bitching to people that are going to come back to said person and tell them everything, and you aren't prepared to own up to that, and you're gonna just start making up even more lies and spiraling out of control and like trying to cover your tracks and trying to act like you never said it, and oh my god, it's all lies, everyone in the world is lying. Just don't say things if you don't want it to go back to said person. If I say something about someone and they find out I've said it, usually I'm chill, because I'm like, do you know what? It's true. Like, I do feel that way. So deal with it. And usually I've said it to their face anyway. So, like, I usually try and have an adult discussion first, but some people can't do that. This chorus, I swear, this video is just going on a run instead. It's just so catchy. Every time it comes on, I just full on jam out. I'm in love with this song, I truly am. It comes back around. If only you had been a nicer person. I'm petty as hell, but at least I admit it. I know what you've called me lately. It's time to burn the witch. Roses are red, violets are blue. Lady Karma's a bitch and she's coming for you. I'm so sorry for my terrible, terrible singing. You're probably watching this like, oh god. But oh my god, this song, you know, I'm torn now. I don't know whether Fake Friends or Burn the Witch is my favourite. I feel like this one is more upbeat and more like I just jam out and it makes me happy when I'm singing it. It definitely makes me feel happier than when I'm listening to Fake Friends. I'm not quite sure. When I first saw the title, I was like, Burn the Witch. I was like, And like, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw some of the titles, I was like, I'm not sure what to expect from this album. Like, it sounds very strange. This has ended up being one of my favourite songs, and I might even put this above like all my other favourite songs of Emma's from previous albums. I might actually bump it up the list there, because I know I'm biased right now because I really relate to the song in this current phase in my life, but it's just so jamming. It's such a bop. Right, another one that I really like is What I Felt With You. Hold on, let me play a bit because I have forgotten how it goes, but I know that this is one that I play quite a lot on my way to work and it is always stuck in my head. I hate the colour blue 'cause that's what I felt with you. Do you know what that lyric reminds me of? The colour blue, but that's what I felt with you. It reminds me of Blue by Troye Sivan. That's what it reminds me of. I've been trying to think for days what that lyric reminded me of. I'm guessing this song's about a breakup, I would assume. It's such a different vibe of song for her, like even the chorus and everything. Like, this is such a different style for her. Like, it's so different from Distance and everything else. Like, it's so... I don't even know what to compare it to be honest. I really don't. I'm sure loads of people are already comparing her to people, but this album just... it's such a different sound for her and I love it so much. Like, I love when artists change up their sounds, and if they're a good enough artist they can pull it off, and I definitely think that she is. Regardless of the fact that I loved her old music, I'm still absolutely in love with this album and I'm loving the change in direction. And you could say it's because I've got a bias for her or whatever, but I think it's just because I just full on love the album, and I full on love the sound, like the new, like she's really experimenting with her voice and her writing. Like, the chorus is so different to anything I've heard from her before. Like, it's just, I don't even know what to compare it to. Back, no one to ask, I know her name and I don't think I could handle knowing more than that. Yeah, so it is about love and a breakup and blah blah blah, and while it's not particularly relatable to me, sad times, it's definitely one of my favourite songs on the album. Just, it's such a different sound for her, and I'm still trying to think what it reminds me of. It reminds me of someone, but I can't put my finger on who it reminds me of. You know, a few of these songs, like, I remember this one taking a while for me to like get into, but things like Fake Friends, Burn the Witch, like straight away, just bam, catchy, loved it. Favourite songs. It definitely took a while to catch on with me, and took a few listens for me to really get into, but once I'd listened to it a few times on the way to work, jamming. Yeah, while the lyrics aren't quite as relatable to me, this song is catchy AF, and if you're going to listen to any free songs on Villains, my recommendations are Fake Friends, What I Felt With You and Burn the Witch. Villains Part 1 and Part 2 are also very good. I remember Villains Part 1 and Part 2, one of them's my favourite. I can't remember which one it is. Which one is it? And it's like, and the villains on my list, no, I'm better off alone. And the villains on your list, monster. I think it's this one. Lights down low. If this is how we go, and the villains on the list, I'm better off alone. Villains Part 1 and Part 2, just such different sound for her. Like, it sounds like a song that would be in like Disney or something to me. It's just because the title's Villains, like that's why it reminds me of it. But when I'm listening to especially Villains Part 1, I get so empowered. Like, I remember I was walking to work listening to Part 1 the other day. I think it was yesterday actually. I was in one of those moods where I was like, yeah, today's going to be a good day. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to get back into it. I was listening to this and just, I was there like, yeah, I might be a villain, but I'm a good person. I'm going to stand up for myself. I just remember walking to work being like, hell yeah, like it really pumps me up for work, this entire album. And Villains is one of them songs that definitely does that for me. It's like, hell yeah, like you want to full on turn it up, full blast and just jam out to it. And God, I do love this album, I really do. I definitely think this is probably her best music, like probably. I definitely think this is probably. That made sense. Yeah, and obviously you've got Dirt, Agenda, Icarus, Take Me Out. We all know how much I love those songs. If you want to know how much I love those songs, you can check out the video down below that I've hopefully linked, Rebecca, if you've made the time to do so. I think the only one I haven't really spoken about is Petty. I do like this one too. There's a lyric in there, it's something like, when you take out the R, what is it? Yeah, you used to call me pretty till you took out the R. Yeah, that's the lyric. It's the second I saw the song title of Petty, I was like, hell yeah. Because to me, that's what this entire album embodies, is like pettiness and owning it, and owning being the villain and the bad guy sometimes, because sometimes you do have to be the villain, like you do. You have to protect yourself by putting on this armour, even if it's not who you really are. Like, I've always considered myself a good person, but I've definitely become someone that I don't particularly like this year, and it's all in the name of kind of protecting myself from people that just keep using me and keep walking all over me all my life, and I just don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to get walked all over, and that means embracing the parts of myself that I've kind of pushed aside all the time and pretended don't exist. And I get what she's saying with this album. The message speaks loud and clear to me, and I'm so proud of her. She's done incredibly well. This album, I've listened to this more than Sweetener, to be honest. I don't think I'll even get to listening to Troy's album at this rate, because I just can't stop listening to this. I'm like, yeah, tomorrow I'll listen to Troy's album when I'm done with Emma's. I always get obsessed with her songs and I play them over and over and over. I'm still not sick of Dirt and Agenda, so I don't know how long I'm going to be listening to this song on repeat. I'm so excited to see her in October. Oh, so excited. My tickets came the other day. I cannot wait. I was a bit worried I might not like her new album, and then I'd go to the concert and be like, oh, I love it, and I don't know why I even doubted her. I'm so sorry, Emma. I'm sorry if this video turned into me ranting about my own life, but it's just this album really does connect to me on a personal level at the moment, and it's like the soundtrack to my life right now, which is why I love it so much. I had to give my opinion on it. I had to voice what I had to voice, and I've been looking forward to this release for so long. The second it came out, I was like, yes! And it's not like me to choose anything above Troye Sivan, but Emma Blackery is the biggest exception. Like, I was so excited for this. I've gotten so many of my friends into Emma Blackery, and I was playing, I think it was Burn the Witch I was playing for my friend in the canteen the other day at work, and she loves it, and I'm just singing it on the shop floor, and I just love this album so much. So Emma, if you're watching this, thank you for a brilliant album. I cannot wait to see you live. I know that you're amazing live because I've seen you a couple times now. I'm proper excited. I am proper excited. I think it's so brave of her to go in this new direction, and I think she's done it incredibly well. I saw that she was on the charts underneath Ariana, and I was like, damn! That's exactly what I wanted. I want this album to do really well. So if you're intrigued and you've never heard of Emma Blackery before, and you liked a few of these songs or the concept that I was talking about, and you feel like you can relate to this, then I'll also leave some kind of link to her channel or the videos or iTunes. I don't actually know how to link to iTunes, but I'll link to something to do with Emma down below, and you can check it out yourself. Even if you just stream the songs, it'll help her out massively. Yeah! I will see you guys in my next video. Like, comment and subscribe. Turn on your notifications because I make new videos every single week. I'm going to try and get into it now that I'm feeling a bit happier within myself. And yeah, bye.